I was thinking, so all right. This is where we're gonna start at. I'm out of town. Of course, as you know, I'm in Vegas with Ez, which was a great time, by the way, but I learned too much about myself. I learned a lot about women. I learned a lot about why I don't need to go out of town no longer than 3 days. 3 nights and 4 days is the perfect time for me from here on out. I'm going on vacation, right?
Yeah.
Especially with a little one at home. And it was funny because I was talking to one of my boys, and he was like, yeah, he said, man, you were gone away from your kid too long. That's why you didn't, you had a great time, but you had a weird time. And so I was like, all right, bet. Like, I get it, right? So, bruh, I ran into a young lady who was definitely like sex worker light. And it made me laugh about me and your conversation because I'm talking to her, right? So I'm like, oh, so what you been doing this weekend? Because I'm taking pictures of her. She was like, oh, yeah, I was hired to model. I was like, all right, that's what's up. I was like, where though? She was like, oh, at a party. And I'm like, how was you hired to model at a party? I was like, it makes sense, but how? She was like, well, I was there with a guy and his girl, and I had to keep them entertained. And, I had to make sure I kept the vibes and emotions right for them. So whatever emotional state they wanted to stay in, I had to make sure I set that up
Who
for them.
Who hired her? The couple or?
The couple.
The couple hired her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then she was like, yeah. Then
sex worker light.
She was like, then I hung out with another guy in his room while him and his girlfriend was together. And, I just kept the vibes going. And I'm like,
yeah, this is not even sex worker light vibes anymore. This is sex worker vibes.
She was like, but it's a thin line between what I'm doing and escorting. I'm like, yeah, bitch, how thin can this line be? Like, I'm like thinking about it. And then I was like, yo, and then, you start, what I realized about Vegas? This is what I realized about women. Let me do it like this. I've realized with women, women do not like when you talk about them. And I'm talking about women in general, right? Mm-hmm. You give them this line of women that you run across, right? And you say, hey, I believe women act like this. And they say, no, I disagree.
They're not going to like that.
They're not. No matter what that is.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, oh, I'm not like that. Women aren't like that. And then you go to these big cities, LA, New York, Miami, Houston, Vegas. And then you as a man run into all of these women who fit that bill.
Yeah, well, any time that you place any accountability on the subset of humans that have no accountability, they're going to feel like they're being attacked.
Saw what you did there.
Yeah. They're going to feel like they're being attacked. So that's never going to change, and that's why one of the things that I like to make sure that we stress on here, unlike other pods, is like we don't really go in on them. We kind of go in on the behaviors that enable them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we so anti-simp culture. Like, simps have money, or at least they have higher credit card limit balances.
Facts.
So so them going out here spending money, being nice isn't the issue. Them out here spending money without holding, the women accountable becomes the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
We're going to talk about, I think the pod when we was like, all right, would you date a single mom? And a lot of women got upset, at that pod. And we're gonna play the clip, right, that made everybody upset.
Y'all was on our ass.
And then we're gonna play a clip that goes directly into what we were discussing, right?
Facts.
So it's like, that's the problem with simps. It's like, I don't have a problem. Like, dude, spend as much money as you want, however you want to. Couldn't care less. But when you're doing this because you don't have any other options, and now you're becoming an enabler, and you're enabling the bad mojo that's going on out here, yeah, we kind of need you to chill.
Bruh, I realized in Vegas, the reason why I say this, I realized in Vegas, this whole logic of like women who have subsidized lifestyles, women who chase in a bag, but really they like to just be taken care of. This whole logic of, women that just superficial, it's all there. It's all in Sin City.
Vegas has all that. And Vegas will take any bank that shows up in Vegas.
Look, so I'm talking to Shorty and we having a conversation. She was laughing. I was like, what? She was like, man, me and my homegirls went to a girls event. It's an all girls event at a casino. And I was like, oh, that's what's up. And I was like, how was it? She was like, it was cool until my homegirls got there and realized they had to pay for their own drinks and food. She was like, they thought, hey, it's an all girls event, but it will be some men here. And she said
that doesn't make sense.
Mike, I only have one woman in my life where I try to make sense of her logic. Everybody else, I kind of sit there, think, and I'm cool. And so she said, yeah, the girls was there. And we know Vegas. Vegas, look, for those who do not know, you go to Vegas, your single drink is $16, your double is $32, right? And she said these girls was ordering doubles and they was getting bills and was like, wait, you mean I got to pay for this?
Yeah.
Like, where are the men at? Like, where is the man who are going to take care of this bill, this thing? And she was just like, once they did that, she said, me and my girls, we spent 45 minutes there.
Yeah, they left.
And she was like, we got out of there.
Yeah.
And then I noticed, and me and her was laughing because she was like, yo, we went to a Rick Ross party. One of my girls wasn't cute enough to get in. And I had a decision to make.
She left her, didn't she?
She did not.
Okay.
She went in. She told the dude, like, look, I can't come in if she don't come in. She left her on the floor, and she went to Rick Ross' table, though. That's the fucked up part.
That's equally messed up.
Yeah, so that's.
But you got her in though.
Yeah, you got her in. She just had to send in gin pop while you went to,
Hey, so when she, all right, I hate to do this, but
Here we go.
But I need context.
Here we go, Mike.
All right, scale 1 to 10. What was she?
Oh, she's like a easy. If you into that, she's like a 7.
She's like a 7. Okay.
Yeah.
So a homegirl probably was what, 5,
3, probably.
3.
I don't know what her friend looked like, but the way she described her friend let me know that her friend wasn't it. But she's like she's in it. Body nice. Her body done. Her body is nice. She got the smile. She's short. She told me, she was like, the dudes that's into me, they like to toss my ass around.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering
if
if she was gonna be like honest with a homegirl, like, yo, this is kind of why we can't go, because
that's a tough conversation.
That's a tough conversation. I just want to know if she had it or not.
I don't know.
Because me and we'll have that conversation all the time. Like, we'll be like, bro, like if somebody can't cover you, like you can't go. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like if you show up, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna get in. Like men do that all the time. Y'all with your homeboys, all y'all go out. One of y'all show up in the jersey, and everybody's like, bruh, you're not going to be able to get in where we going to the night.
How you going to Uber home? Because we're not taking you home.
Because we ain't even going to waste any more time. Like, if you leave your driver's license at home, your homeboy is just going to be like, all right, bruh, we'll tell you about it tomorrow. Like, men are trill.
Facts.
Like that.
Bro, I don't know, man. She had me laughing, though. She was cool, though. But Vegas, other than a good time, for those who don't know, I went to Vegas with Mike's brother. It was amazing. I will not be going back to Vegas. I don't know if I'm going next year. I want to because they got a photo conference, but I really don't think they got the second biggest photo conference is in Vegas, and it's in March, so it's not like really when shit's popping off.
Yeah, March might be a good time to go. Temperatures be good,
decent.
Be kind of chilly here, and those rates should be lower. Like
Absolutely.
I mean, y'all went to Vegas. You got summer league going. You got NFL about to pop off, so they probably had training camp. Like I'm not paying those rates in Vegas. I'm not used to those prices. To go to Vegas.
So I'm thinking about March, but you know what? On the way back home, I was listening to a guy, and he said, I forgot what podcast I was listening to. He said, "Would you be willing to give up 1 year of your life to get the life that you want? Just to grind one full year to see if you can get the life that you want."
Absolutely.
And that's what my initial thought was. And so I was thinking, I was like, yo, that got to be next year. You know what I'm saying? I can't waste no more time to really say, yo, let me, this year I was real intentional about stuff because I had a baby.
Yeah.
And then so it made me think about like, yo, I got to be even more intentional next year. Like, yo, since I've been back in Vegas, yesterday was my first time going out. I was out for 2 hours. I went and got something to eat with my boy. We talked business, came home, hung out with my kid and wife. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, next year, I'm only going to Vegas if it's for that conference. I'm already not going to a New York conference now, which is a whole nother photography thing that y'all don't care about. But the thing is like, I'm just tired of bullshit. Let me give a rant before we get started. Sorry, y'all. This ain't what y'all here for. Y'all brands gotta stop playing with us. And the reason why I say that is because, podcasting is now, which was a hobby for me and you, has become like a job, right? And it sucks when you see brands reward people either because they're, I'm gonna be frank, women.
Oh yeah,
they're part of the LGBTQ plus community. I was telling Mike about how I was pissed about I'm fulfilling out grants and I'm signing up for grants, bruh, and I keep getting asked what's my sexual orientation 3 times.
Yeah,
and then you go through life and you just like, yo, as a straight black man, what the fuck can I do to keep going and elevating? And so I'm looking at it, and so I'm supposed to be going to a photo conference, bruh. It's a photo conference, and it's nothing but TikTokers that's panel speakers. And I'm like, how? They
Why?
don't even take pictures.
Yeah, they don't.
But you got to play those games.
Yeah, see,
and I don't have time to play those games.
You know, like I had someone that actually like reached out. He was just like, man, you know, we want to get your engagement up, yada yada yada. And I was just like, nah, man, I'd rather do it. Like I was like, I'm not doing this because I need 1,000 followers. You know, to prove that I'm quality. I'd rather have 1,000 followers that follow me because I'm quality. Right?
Absolutely.
Like I'm not trying to do a proof of concept and then create it. I'd rather create it and then have the proof of concept. Goes back to what you said earlier. Are you willing to give up, you know, a year of your life to get to where you want to be? As black men, that's our only option.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why when a black man achieves, it's so spectacular is because it's been so much pressure that by the time it finished, it's just a diamond. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all that's left because it's so much pressure. So to what you said earlier, like no, like all we do is grind. So these brands and these sponsors, they're not going to want you until it's to diamond. Well, just going to hit them over the head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be like, yo, we happy you here. It's going to be like, yo, cut the check, and it needs to be the biggest check you've cut. And you just keep it moving.
Facts.
Like,
You're right, man. I want to welcome everybody to the Black Dads Club. I am your co-host, Gavin, a.k.a. Coke, a.k.a. whatever you want it to. You can call me Brokey now since I'm back from Vegas. I got my host here, Mike, the man of the show, the man of the hour. I love to see y'all fuss and fight with Mike online. I love it.
Man, it happens. It happens everywhere. Man, sometimes I think y'all just be baiting me. It's all good.
Absolutely. They be setting you up. Because I'll be looking at it, I'm like, why the fuck Mike give this person the time of the day?
Yeah, it be all good. Which is why we had, you know, last week we talked about good faith and bad faith arguments. Because sometimes I do know that I'm engaging in a bad faith argument. So
Facts.
it's like, but the information is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to put the information in front of individuals. Like, that's my job. That's my ministry.
Look,
you know, providing the data.
Absolutely.
And speaking of providing the data, we didn't talk about this, but I need to say this.
Okay.
I am about sick of rap music.
Why?
And let me provide some context, man. I'm sick of every week, you know, some rapper getting murdered, right? It's to the point that, you know what, if Apple Music, if Spotify, if YouTube, if they all said right now, we're gonna take rap music off all of our platforms for the next year and a half, would we as black men get our shit together? Like, would we? Because it has to be influence almost at this point now. The murder rate for black males have went up, and this is totally off topic. Welcome to the Black Dads Club, where we talk about everything. And one of the things that we talk about a lot on here is black males, because before you became a black dad, you was a black male. And what we really got to focus on is becoming good black dads, which means that you're going to have to be a good black male. Back to what I was saying. The murder rate, I think from 2018 to 2020 has went up 33% for black males. So per 100,000 black males, the murder rate is like 58. It used to be like 42, right? Which is still absurdly high, right?
Yeah.
Now we're super absurdly high.
Yeah.
We gotta figure out how can we reduce the amount of black men that are being taken down by gun violence. If that, and this is just a hypothetical, is it the music?
No, I mean, it starts at home. I mean, I do believe music have influence on you, but the problem is, yo, let's be real, bro. These music people in bed, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Who is benefiting from this?
And that's my point,
and
right?
the music people benefit from,
which is why I would have no problem taking it off, right? Because it's not like we're making the money from it anyway. Yeah, we don't own the rights to it. We don't own the masters to it. I do think that we should almost be to the point of like, you know what? It needs to come off. It needs to come off of Spotify. It needs to come off of Apple Music. It needs to come off of YouTube. We have black rappers, right? The little dude went online, was murdered within 5 minutes of going live and telling, you know, like, yo, if you want me, I'm here at home, right? Yeah. Like, dude, what ops is said has basically have you scheduled for whenever you show up online? Bruh, do you hate him or are you a fan? Look, you know what I'm saying? Like, who shows up like that?
Well, gotta get him. Gotta do the race. After that.
So it's like, man, like I'm to the point where it's like, yo, I'm being disappointed. And, and while our rates have went up, rates of black women dying have went up. Now it's nowhere near the rates of black men.
Yeah.
So black men is what I think that was 57 per 100,000. Black women now is 8, but they used to be like 5. So now their rates are being raised, man. Whatever pressure that we have in our culture, and I do think that some of it is, I think some of it is coming from these men that aren't being properly raised, men that aren't in the proper circles, and then having relationships with women that are also not being raised and not in the proper circles. And a lot of that creates these violent situations, right? Whether it's domestic violence, whether it's street violence because of young ladies being in gangs or whatever. We do have to figure out how to get along, right? And again, last week we talked about good and bad faith arguments. Yeah. As men, we do need to disengage more online when it comes to having these conversations with the opposite sex. Yeah. Because that, whatever you do online, is going to bleed into the real world. And in the real world, that's when things can happen. And black men should not be the predators for black women. And the reverse is also true. Because if you ever join these pink pill groups, these pink pill groups are worse than the feminist groups. like the way that they talk about black men in these groups, dude, they literally talk about black men the way racist white people talk about black men. Whether it's ashy, whether it's gorilla looking, whether it's don't touch me, because these are sisters. Yeah, talking about black men. So we all of us that are good, are trying to be good, are trying to be righteous, we do have to pull out. We have to come out from amongst them. We got to leave the pink pillars by themselves. We got to leave the black incels by themselves. Let them fight. And a lot of us got to just kind of get ourselves out of that way. But we do have to have real conversations. Like we got to have the conversation about, the clip that went viral that no one liked when we was talking about dating single moms and everybody got upset. And, and it was like, yo, we got to be able to have a conversation though. If it's one thing that black men have consistently been clear about, right? If it's one thing that men have said a lot, was like, yo, I don't really want to raise someone else's kid. That has been a consistent, that has been a constant, that is not unfair. Yeah. Despite that, men still say, but I don't have a problem with it. I'd just rather not, right? Yeah. I went to go buy a black car. They didn't have any black cars on the lot. I left with a navy blue car. I still got what I want. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I just had to change it up a little bit. So it's not like people are saying that yo, I can't change my situation or I can't change my mind. It's just saying yo, I do have a preference though. We got to respect that.
Absolutely. Speaking about respect, come on, Kevin Hart, where you at, man? I got a joke.
Me and my wife go to a nudist colony.
Hold on. They would set me up for that.
Look at Gavin producing the show wrong.
Me and my wife go to a nudist colony.
Facts.
Once a year, we go to a nudist colony.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go to a place where you walk in, and everybody just gets naked and walks around. I heard you say I didn't know you knew this.
No, I'm just asking you what's going on.
Okay, yeah. So we go to the nudist colony, and we just kind of go around. You got to shave everything and show out, and especially when you shave your shit, it looks bigger.
See, that's the weird part.
Inches.
That was weird. From Shannon always say something a little weird though.
Clarity.
Starts good, he just gets bad.
Y'all just hanging out, or y'all fucking these people?
No, there are swingers there. But you set the precedent.
I get that. I don't know why you're not listening to me. I want to know what do y'all get down, is what you're saying.
It's kind of the question, but we don't get down, but we just like to be around naked people together.
See. Yeah. All right, hold on. All right.
The end was cap.
So, all right. Clearly he goes to swinger events. I don't care what he say, how he want to dress it up. It's a swinger event.
Is it?
Yeah, because you don't have to fuck.
No, I mean, you don't have to, okay. So
excuse the language,
Channing Crowder's a rich man, right?
Facts.
So Channing Crowder's literally talking about going down to hedonism in Jamaica.
Okay.
That is literally what he's talking about.
Okay.
Or maybe Temptations in Cancun.
Okay.
It's one of the two that he's going to, right?
Yeah.
That ain't really weird, man. These are adult resorts. And women, let me tell you who I found out about both of these places from. Wasn't a Channing Crowder in my life. Wasn't a guy, Both of these places I heard about from women because
Facts.
women are allowed to go to these places. Like if you are a single woman or if two women go, they can get into these places a whole lot easier than if a group of us went.
Absolutely.
A group of guys go, the prices are like 3 times as much.
3 times, and then it's only certain days you can go.
Yeah, so but you can go as a couple.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it was overblown. I think Kevin Hart is cracking jokes. You can't tell me that a rich man that got caught busted cheating, don't know about.
They know about swinger events.
Yeah, they know about it.
I mean, not to be funny, like
so
once you get up there, the weird stuff starts trickling down. Like when Aaron Hall
it ain't
said
even weird anymore.
It's not. When Aaron Hall got on TV and said, "Yo, Diddy has a room surrounded by plexiglass, mirrored glass." And he just, everybody knows that's the room you go fuck, and everybody can watch you. It was like weird, and then you realize like a lot of other celebrities got little kinks they into. This podcast, we don't shame sex workers or kink shame.
No, we don't kink shame or sex workers at all.
Now, for you to look Kevin Hart in his eyes and say, "Yo, I like to shave my shit because it makes you give me a few inches," then that was just like, all right, bro.
That was a wee bit weird, but Shannon always goes too far every time he talks. Like he should probably just say 75% of what he's thinking. He probably be straight.
Well, that's how everybody is. That's how all of us should do. Hold on, I'm trying to think about you and what you was who was you fighting with online, bro?
Who knows?
Who this girl over here? When you was talking about there's more single men out here without kids.
Yes.
And she told you. Hold on, let me read this comment. So Mike told a young lady, "Yo, there's more single men without kids." And it's always been hype and propaganda. Men need to understand there's a single, childless, good women shortage out here. Shorty said, yeah, but are you asking women to forego fertility in hopes of a black male messiah trope, the equivalent of a white knight? That is foolish. It says more about men with no kids, no marriage, and not proud of love than a woman who might have had her baby out of wedlock. Good men know this.
Good men know this. Hey, man, I don't know who came up with sign language. But you got to recognize it, right?
Okay.
Shame, insult, guilt need to be right? If you get hit with sign language, you're in a bad faith argument. And at that point, right? Like if I drop a fact or a study, and then because I mean, there's things that we're not good at as black men. Black men, the fact that when we do have kids, we will have a second child's mother. More so than Hispanic men, Asian men, or white men, at a rate of damn near 2.5 times to their average, right?
Yeah,
that's too high. Yeah, right. Which is why on this podcast we talk about do not think about having a baby if you're not thinking about marrying a woman, right? Because that will reduce the ideal of multiple baby mamas, right? Yeah. We are responsible as black men of creating this issue. Now it ain't all of us. Yeah. Right? Because majority of us don't have kids.
Yeah.
All right. Those of us who are listening right now that do have kids, right, in the Black Dads podcast, the overwhelming majority of us have all our children with one woman, right? But there's men that are listening right now who all of them aren't bad guys.
Yeah.
Right? All of them are not bad. Half of them have actually attempted marriage, with the woman.
Yep.
And they have 2 or more, children's mom. But then we got this sliver, the small percentage of ain't shit dudes that find fucking ovulation windows like a heat-seeking missile, right? And it's like, those dudes, we gotta get those dudes to stop.
Yeah, well, Nick Cannon,
Future,
Tristan,
and at least they are rich men, right?
Yeah,
we gotta stop the dudes who are not rich men. Yeah. If you're making less than 150, 200 a year, bro, you shouldn't have more than one child's mother. It only takes one fiduciary terrorist to fuck your world over, right?
Yeah.
One kid in child support is going to be 24% of your fucking income. 24%. So for you to leave a woman, unless you can get a 25% raise, you about to have a lifestyle downgrade.
Yeah.
To take care of your child in a split home. And that's just child support. We ain't even talking about you got to get a larger apartment yourself now. Now you got to buy all that food yourself now, right? Like now you got to get school clothes for yourself now, right?
Yeah.
Like my son has 2 wardrobes, bro. Like he has 2 wardrobes. He has 2 rooms. He has 2 of everything, right? It would be so much better if his mom and I did not have irreconcilable differences and was able to be. Because then we'd be stacking money.
Yeah.
And like now we're not stacking money. Dude, I look at this shit every year and I be like, whew.
Well, you know how it is, man. You get out there and then you look at me and Laws was having this. Sometimes we was having this conversation about just entrepreneurship. It's about what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it was important, because it was funny when I had my kid, right? Me and you had a conversation. I go, yo, you left a lot of shit out. You know, and I was saying it to be funny because there's a lot of shit I didn't know. But then you start looking at, you know, I do more maternity shoots and I see dads in here and I'm asking them, you know, especially the young boys, like, you ready? You got any questions and shit like that? And a lot of them don't have either a father to speak to or a dude that's their age to talk to. And so, yeah, some of it is you is talking to your homeboys or you asking your friends and you like, yo, just to let y'all know, this shit is expensive. Like, I probably be letting people know how much daycare costs and formula costs. Because I'm just like, yo, it ain't all that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It is expensive and you need to do this with someone. And that someone needs to be your wife. Mm-hmm. Like I mean, we never backing off of this. I don't care how mad y'all get. You know, we never like, dude, you should not be having children with anybody that you are not married to. Children are more of a commitment than marriage.
They are.
You can get out of marriage.
I was telling who was I talking to? This girl, her and her man was getting engaged, and she was like, yeah, she was looking down about it. And I was like, what? She was like, you know, I don't know if we should get married. I'm like, yo, you already pregnant. And she was like, what? I said, clearly don't marry a man who ain't shit, who's not gonna be a great husband. I was like, but if you worried about the whole commitment thing, like, y'all got a kid, y'all stuck.
Yeah, y'all stuck.
Y'all stuck.
Y'all need to get married. And you can't sit here and be like, well, you know, I don't know. It's such bad logic. And we've normalized having children out of wedlock. And marriage is the weird shit now.
Yeah.
You know, apologies for the curse, Mom. But you know, it's just like how is that weird? How is finding an ovulation window not weird? But God forbid y'all decide y'all want to get married. And all of a sudden people are like, well, are y'all ready for marriage? Like, no, you need to be asking, are you ready for kids, bro?
Yeah.
You are never done with somebody once you have a child with them. Never. And to these mothers out here when they have a child and the dude leave them, and then, you know, and then they're like, oh, well, I'd rather you not see the child than to have an inconsistent, you know, parent. Like, the only inconsistency is you, right? Because you're upset, right?
Yeah.
If he says he's gonna pick the kid up every other weekend, yeah, it might not be as much as you want, but I guarantee you that child wants to see their father.
Absolutely.
I guarantee it, right? Even if it's once a month, I guarantee it, right?
Facts.
The child feelings isn't hurt. Your feelings are hurt.
Absolutely.
And at some point, we as men got to select better women. You know what I'm saying? That at the end of the day, their children's feelings matter more than theirs. They're not projecting, well, I'm protecting you from something.
Facts.
Like, no, you're not protecting the kid. The kid want to see the other parent. So Facts. As men, if y'all stop having kids with women that you're not married to, this wouldn't even be an issue.
True. You got a point.
It wouldn't be an issue.
What's up with TD Jakes, bro? He pissed off a lot of women.
You know what?
What TD Jakes say, man?
So I had to go listen to the rest of the message, and what TD was saying was, you cannot pour pain into women and expect love. And we're not even gonna play the clip. Everybody done saw the clip, and I agree with TD. As men, you have to create the environment for a woman to be able to thrive in. Like, you have to produce that environment. I don't think we are still doing that ourselves, and I don't think that we understand what husbandry is, right? Like, the idea, it's the reason why they call it husbandry. You have to create the vineyard, right?
Okay.
So you got to till the ground, move the rocks, weed everything, right? And then you're creating this environment so everything can blossom in this environment. Mm-hmm. And I think some of us do that, but because we haven't really been taught how to vet properly, that so if you create this environment where it's just everything can grow, and you drop kudzu in there,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, guess what that kudzu is going to do?
What's that?
It's going to grow. And I think that if we really, really, really want to, you know, thrive, to be the men that we should be, we do got to create these environments, right? I know we go back and forth on the 50-50 versus hypergamy all the time. you could do either of those. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
neither one of those cannot be done, and everybody's different. So both are allowable. But if I create this arena where a woman can thrive, and then I go out and I choose the wrong woman, it doesn't matter how much work I've put in prior. You're going to be destroyed. Like I was telling one of my friends, I was like, look, I don't care if the pink pillars want to marry Caucasian men. I was like, I'm for it. I would help them, right? Yeah. Because I would rather them be where they want to be than to be with a good man that have built this environment. He inserts that woman into his life, and she never wanted to be with him, and then she destroys him. Right? I'd rather that man never have access to that woman.
Yeah.
So it's like I always, when we talk about girlfriends, we talk about the triple C's, right? Passionate, considerate, cooperative. Right? A woman has to be all those things for you, right? But that's just the woman you date. Right? That's not the woman you marry.
Facts.
A woman you marry is going to be a little bit different. Let's get into it a little bit, right? Solomon, wisest man ever lived.
Yep.
Right? He said to find a good woman is harder than finding rubies. Right? Now,
That's
the
tough.
best rubies in the world actually are from Utah.
What?
Yeah, Utah has it's like the rarest rubies in the world, right? So Solomon,
We need to go out there.
being across the other side of the planet, was talking about finding rubies from this area, right?
Yeah.
Rubies are actually more rare than diamonds. Rubies are actually the rarest, like one of the rarest gemstones on the planet, right?
Okay.
So Solomon is really dropping us game, man, that we ain't even hit on, right? Like we thinking like, yo, I want to find a diamond in the rough. Solomon was like, nah, bro, you got to find that ruby.
Look, well, the problem is these good dudes get out here. The problem is we talked about this a while back, probably last season, about how you can be a good dude, you get done dirty, and then you create these weird or fake expectations for women. You got to realize, like, it's growing pains at times, right?
It is. But you was told how hard it was, though, and I don't think we really look at it that way. And I don't think we really understand like how to gauge a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like how do you know that a woman is, wifey material, right? So I tell y'all the triple C's are for girlfriends. That's not what you look for in a wife. Nah. Right? The wife is the arc, right? A woman has to hit the arc. So adoration, respect, celebration. All right. If a woman does not adore you, bruh, what do you think you're going to spend the next 20 years doing?
Being mad.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So if a woman don't respect you, like a lot of us are concerned about cheating. If a woman respects you, bruh, she's going to be loyal.
Yeah.
She's going to be loyal because she respects you. Not because she don't want to cheat, right? Yeah. She sees Jason Momoa. It's 2:00 in the morning. She done had, 5 strawberry daiquiris, bruh. She wants them.
Look.
But you know what's going to get her back to your room? Her respecting you. Love is not bringing her back to your room, bro.
Look,
respect is bringing her back to your room.
But if my wife get caught by Derek Jeter, bro, it's a wrap. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. We was watching the captain last night, bro. Every time he flashed on the screen, I heard a moan over there. I was like, what the hell?
Turn that shit off,
bro. No. And here go my ass. We should watch episode 2. And I'm like, man, more moaning. I said, what the hell going on the other side of this couch, man?
Man, you gotta put it out like that,
bro. Nah, man, fuck that.
You gotta put it out like that.
She got my list. She already know. But
to that point though, right? It's not love that really keeps people
it's
from
respect.
doing things. It's respect, man. Like if you respect somebody, you're not doing it because you love them. You're doing it because you respect them. So it's like, yo, adoration, respect. Last thing, celebration. All right.
Yep.
As a man, let me tell you guys something, man.
Here we go.
Yeah. If you do everything right as a man, if you do every single thing right, it shows up as a 0 in the scorecard, bruh.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. It shows up as a 0.
Bruh.
So I had my son at the pool the other day, man. Like, dude, he was having a hard time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so my son's like, he getting to this age now where he's a little more expressive, right? Mm-hmm. And I practice gentle parenting, right?
Yeah.
Now, gentle parenting just means that you don't beat your kids. I don't know where y'all come with just letting kids talk back shit. Like, that is not gentle parenting, man. Like, there's too many things I can take away from you and not have to beat you or yell at you.
Yeah.
Right? So he's having a hard time, man. So I make him go upstairs, sit down for a little bit, cool down. So when I go back upstairs, man, have this moment, and he's upset. So I'm like, I bang on the table, right? And I shouldn't have, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, I got to get your attention, right? And then I explained to him that, like, yo, you don't get to be upset, sad anymore because we're doing everything that you asked to do.
Yeah.
We're literally doing everything you asked to do, right? Like, you're like, at this point, you're just being a brat.
Yeah.
So I was like, everything ends right now. Go in the bathroom, wash your face. We're going to go back outside.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going to have a good day at the pool, right? And he does. He goes in and washes his face. I mean, he changes just like that.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, we walking downstairs. He was like, Dad, he was like, did you have to bang on the table? And I was like, you know what, son, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I was like, but I was trying to be emphatic. But I was like, I should not have done that.
Yeah.
We'll try not to do it again, right? So we having this whole conversation. My whole point is, my son is 8, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me right now. It doesn't really bother anybody. But if I don't correct this behavior now, right?
Sure.
At 10, 11, 12, 13, guess what's going to show up? And guess what's not cute no more when he's over 5 feet tall? That's not cute anymore, right? So me trying to work on it now and fix it now, at 12, it doesn't even show up.
Yeah.
Right? So me doing the work now literally shows up as a 0 on the scorecard, bro.
When he's 18.
When he's 18.
Yeah.
And it's like, as men, like, yo, you're going to have to just get that shit through your head, bro.
Yeah.
This is not, there's no fun. There's no celebration. Nobody's going to say, yo, black men, y'all fucking crushed it. No one's going to say that shit.
Nah.
So what we have to understand is like, yo, when you find a wife, that's who's supposed to say it, right?
Yeah.
Your woman is supposed to celebrate you, right? Because that's the stuff that she catches. Society's not going to catch it. Your mom's not going to catch it. Your siblings not going to catch it. Your boys, you know what I'm saying? Like, if all y'all do great jobs, man, chances are I'm not going to say, man, you know what? Y'all boys crushing it every time I see you. Chances are we jumping straight into the pod. We jumping straight into who's better, Jordan or LeBron. We jumping straight into, you know, why I hate rap music right now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not celebrating each other.
Yeah.
That is the job of your woman. So adoration, respect, celebration. If someone thinks that shit's too much for them,
Bruh.
yo, not qualified.
Bruh.
Because you already told it was hard to find in the first place.
I want to, you touched on something. I know this off topic, but yo, it's amazing that you was able to look and say, I'm going to apologize to my son. You know, your son and my nephew the same age, and it's been times where I've said something to my nephew, and I had to be like, yo, I'm sorry.
Yes.
That was wrong. And we got to normalize apologizing to kids. Because, you know, when we was young, and you older than I am, so I know it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Your parents will let you know, I ain't apologizing for nothing.
I ain't apologizing for anything.
You lucky I didn't. And
go further.
Yeah. And
right.
so, like, but now I look at it as like, you know, I fussed at my nephew and got on him. I'm like, yo, I had to go back and be like, yo, that was too much.
Yeah.
You didn't deserve that. And even if it confuses them, it makes you feel better that, like, yo, that part. And then also, if you got a prime example of being nice, I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm in Vegas, and this black woman, she had asked, these two black women, asked me to take pictures of them, Mike, right? Mm-hmm. So I take their picture. And later, probably about an hour and a half later, the party's going, and I see this black woman, the same black woman I took a picture of, we're crossing the pool, and she got her head down, and she's only has her head down, she's walking. And so I said, hey, because it's a dip. It's not a dip, it's a hill in a pool in a grate. And I said, hey, look up. So she looks up at me, and she got this confused, like, who are you talking to me look. I said, nah, you good. I was like, and I was trying to point to her. I said, nah. And I saw her face. I was like, you good, just smile. You good, it's me. And she looked, bruh, she came to me, and for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm not going to exaggerate, it's probably 5 to 10 minutes, she continued to fuss at me about how I was disrespectful for telling her to smile, and how as a man that was misogynistic, and how I was rude. And bruh, I sit there, and your brother come up. He looking like, because he just see me staring at her.
Yeah.
And she goes the fuck off. And she's telling me how she's.
Does she recognize you?
Yes, she knew who I was at this point, but she's still going off. It don't matter who I am.
Yeah.
I'm a man, and I got my own thing, even though my sugar daddy is paying for this table. She had the $5,000 table. No, she had the $3,000 table. Even though my sugar daddy is paying for this table, it don't matter. As a woman, I have my own. Okay. I don't see the mathing, but it's adding somehow. And she goes off, and she asks me, then she does it. How old do you think I am? Mind you, Mike, I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah.
So I tell her how old she, come to find out she's 57, body done. Body's nice, whatever. And you know what's funny is some of the other girls who I ran into came up, whisked her away because they saw her fussing, and it's like, yo, it's a DJ Mustard party, bro.
Yeah. Well, dude, you know,
wrong place, wrong time.
You can't tell women to smile, man.
I was told.
For
5 minutes.
You can't
and
tell.
you know what? I looked at it, and her friend came up to me and she apologized, and she said, "I want to apologize to you. Wrong place, wrong time." She said, and she started laughing. She said, "You said the one trigger that she has,
Smile."
And she said, "You asked her to smile." And I said,
"She married."
Yeah, well, she married her sugar daddy allegedly. The other woman was married too. Both of them was like on a trip to Vegas, whatever. And so I was looking at her, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't argue with her. I didn't argue with her." And I said, "A, it's not the right time and place.
Yeah.
B, I'm not arguing with no woman outside of my wife, and I try not to argue with my wife."
Exactly.
And I said, "Who the F cares?"
Yeah.
And I was like, and I said, "But you know what?" And I told her, I said, the girl tried to say something to me later, and I was just like, "Nah, you good. And I told her friend, I said, being nice to get you so far.
Yeah.
And I said, women don't understand how being nice is, dog. Like, and I was just like, I understand now looking back. Like, if I was sober, I probably wouldn't have told her to smile. I would have just been like, "Hey, look up," because 3 people almost ran your ass over.
Well, back to your point though, right? As a man, if you're inebriated, no one gives a shit. You still have to be accountable for your actions 100%.
Absolutely.
Right? So here you are in Vegas, middle of the day, probably drinking off your ass.
Facts.
Right? came out of my mouth with, what I thought was nice, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, I'm drunk, right? But you don't even, as men, you don't even have the space to be like, yo, I was drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one is going to look at Gav and be like, "Oh, man, he was drunk." You know what I'm saying? Like, let me let that slide, right?
Yeah.
Whereas most of the time as men, we do understand, like, okay, I got to let that slide because, she's probably drunk. Now, I don't think that's wrong. I think that as a man, we definitely got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. But to segue into Brittany Renner in Rolling Loud, right? She assaulted this guy.
Threw water in his face,
right? Mm-hmm. Now, we talked about Brittany a lot last season because one of the things that we were trying to point out to men is like, hey, beautiful women are seductive. Mm-hmm. They're alluring. But you got to be able to recognize when a woman isn't a good woman.
Yeah, facts.
You have to, like, you can't be so drawn in that you like, dang, I can't tell that she's not a good woman.
Yeah.
Now, we said last year, like, yo, she ain't solid.
Yeah.
Right? And we want to have on the pod. Like, if she in Charlotte, definitely want to have on the pod.
PJ better get traded.
Yeah, but
she got to go.
But, if a woman thinks that you could throw water into a stranger's face, right? In a public venue, being recorded, if she thinks that is cool, what do you think that woman does when no cameras are around and she's at home?
She does more.
She more than likely, she does more, right? Now, last season, we was like, yo, this is not a good woman. This is a bad woman. This is not how you select a woman, right?
Yeah.
How many men would probably still have selected her?
Oh, plenty.
Damn near every, right?
Yeah.
So the idea on this pod is to try to give us the tools to understand. It's like, yo, you have to choose. Two things. You got to be willing to settle down, right? You can't do the player life thing forever. And it's fun. Like, I would never sit here and lie to any man and tell you that having a lot of women isn't fun.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Having a lot of women and a pocket full of money is fun.
Tiring, but
now,
fun.
What I will tell you is it is a waste of time.
Facts.
While fun, it is a complete waste of time. So if you skip that phase, or if you could shorten that phase as much as you can, you will not miss anything. Like, if it's one regret that I have, is that I wish I would have shortened that fun phase at least in half, right?
Yeah.
So
y'all made sure I ain't get to extend it. This dude, Mike, left the group right before we went to Brazil and ruined everything.
Hey, man.
And then I was like,
in love, man. I had a family.
I was like, man.
I mean, we can still go to Brazil, man.
Nope.
It's just like we can't go for the whole stuff.
Nope, I'm going.
we can
I'm getting the ultimate hall pass. I'm gonna figure out a way.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
I know it ain't.
You got to bring her.
Look,
that's the only way you get that hall pass.
Exactly. I'm be like, look, We're gonna have to do what Shannon say they go. We going there.
Oh, hedonism.
Look, we gonna.
He didn't say he go to hedonism. Hedonism should cut a check for this right now.
Look, should, but you know,
I would go to hedonism. I would go. I'm not gonna let y'all. Shannon, I'm not gonna let you take this one on the chin by yourself.
Fuck that.
I would go to hedonism with my girl.
Look, I'm gonna let Mike have that. I'm telling y'all this.
I'm also not married, so
look, I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is a sidebar. Stop bragging about what y'all sugar daddies do. It ain't yours. It ain't yours. It's not.
Man, let's not even do that.
I'm not, because I got a lot of that when I was in Vegas. Oh, my sugar daddy did this. He paid for this. And I'm like, this ain't yours. If he put a stoppage on it right now, how are you getting home? My homegirl sent me a video yesterday about a dude, about a girl who's upset because she went out of town with a dude. Dude didn't get laid, so he canceled her room and her flight back home.
Oh, you know, I saw that.
And I looked and I said, that's what she get. And she was like, how, what you mean? I said, yo, forget that part. He's a cornball. You don't get laid.
He's definitely lame.
I was like,
that is a conversation that you should have had on one of those 20 FaceTime before y'all came over there.
And my thing, but I told her, I said, women, it's 2022. Women should stop getting flights in the dude's name, thinking that it's gonna be okay.
Well,
he should not have the opportunity to cancel your flight.
Well, no, but see, there's the backside of this though. If you're going to trick, you definitely need to put everything in your name. So if she flake, you can get your money back because the scammers will scam. Like you sit here and book flights if you want to. Yeah, y'all simp passes gonna get got.
Look, ladies, I was trying to help y'all, but Mike, he went for the man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let y'all have that, fellas. No, and this. Let's go here. All right. Anytime that you want to plan something with a woman, I don't care if you could afford the whole thing, bro. Look, to the men that got money out here, they know that they don't have to spend money. It's men who don't have money that think that they have to spend money. Men that have money, like what did Travis Kelce say with his little baby girl? He was like, nah, she had to pay, right?
Yeah.
He was like, yo, she had when a dude has bank, he doesn't have to spend money because he has a list of women that are willing to get to where he's at. Right? Mm-hmm. A lot of guys, I'm not gonna say most guys because then y'all gonna argue semantics. A lot of guys that have money will make you buy your plane ticket wherever he's at.
Meet me there.
Right? Meet me there. Right? Or if he is gonna or if he does pay for it, he makes you pay for it first and then he reimburses you.
Yeah.
Because y'all like to play games and men that have money deal with way too many women. Right?
Yeah.
So he probably got truth be told, he probably got burnt once or his best boy got burnt once. Learn from that shit, and then they be like, all right, this is how you do it. All right. But I be telling y'all boys to get married. I'm telling y'all not to do any of this simping, tricking ish whatsoever.
Shout out to the simps.
But if we ever have a Patreon, we'll definitely talk about the game.
Nah, cause I'm gonna be cussing motherfuckers out on there. I will. All right. We gonna go to this preference episode.
Are we gonna jump to the You know what? We need to play ours first. You pull that up. We need to play the video that kind of set it all off, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if y'all remember this one.
Hold on. You playing it?
Well, of course.
Yes, definitely updated women with kids.
Date. Yes. Yes.
Why you say it like that?
That added level of clearing things through that other man bothers the shit out of me right now. Okay. Right now, I really don't.
Now remember they said they didn't really like that because they was like, I gotta clear nothing through no other man.
I expect to have to deal with the dude. If he's not around, not available, not a good person, to me that's a reflection upon you. So I need you to clarify, are you still that person or are you a different person?
Now, boy, we caught hell for that. We caught hell because nobody said that they wouldn't date a woman with a child. Men were just saying that like, yo, like we kind of got to go through something to clarify because I understand that if I come into your life and you have a child, I'm coming into that child's life, right? Mm-hmm. And women were just like, you ain't got to clear shit. You know, it's just me. You know, we just like, man, like, you know, y'all can't tell us that all these dudes ain't good. But anyway, so we got the episode. You got a cue?
Yeah, I got a cue.
Let's listen to a man that dated a woman with a child. Let's see what he said.
All right.
It's okay.
Oh, fuck. This is what I love about Instagram. They heard me talking shit.
So a woman asked me, why don't I date women with kids? Goes back to a time where I dated a young lady of whom I'd known my entire life. When we dated, I knew that she came with a son. And since his father was never in the picture, I literally was the closest
Father
thing
never in the
he had
picture,
to a
huh?
father figure. Taught him how to run a football, helped him with his homework. He got disrespectful with his mom. I would discipline him without putting hands on him.
Gentle parent.
Needless to say that me and mom broke up. I tried to maintain a relationship with her son. She told me, you can't have a relationship with my son and not with me. I tried different avenues of reaching out to him to let him know that, I still love him and care about him.
Good dude.
His mom blocked every one of them. He saw me about 3 years later. He told me he never wanted to talk to me again because I was just like his father.
Just like his father.
Without a word.
Now.
So ever since then, I just never dated women with kids. Pain was too real.
All right.
Now, when we talked about this in our first episode, like this is why you talk to children's fathers, right? Mm-hmm. There's a chance that he could not be shit. There is a chance, but there's also a chance that the way she told this man, what did she tell him? If you don't have a relationship with me,
can't have one with my kid.
Can't have one with my kid. You think she told the biological father something similar or not similar?
Definitely similar.
She probably told the biological dad something similar. What did she tell the child though? She told the child after she blocked him from everything.
Yeah.
That what? He didn't come around anymore.
Yeah.
So the child is thinking there's two men in his life
that ain't shit.
That don't give a fuck about him. Mm-hmm. All right. We heard his side of the story. I can assure you that the biological dad side of the story is probably similar.
Similar.
Right? We haven't heard her side of the story. I'd love her to come on the pod. I'd love for her to come on the pod.
No, because she gonna lie.
Of course she's gonna lie. Of course she's gonna lie. But my point is that when men have these concerns, right? Like when we show up and we're like, yo, I do want to date you, but what happened to you and the father? Now let's be clear. Most men ain't doing that because this dude that thought he was doing the right thing and knew everything and was a friend, you think he ever asked about the biological father?
No.
He is telling his story now. And he still ain't even considering the fact that everything that she's putting him through, she probably put the other dude through.
Same first rodeo.
Ain't her first rodeo, bro. But it's like, as men, we come in white knight this shit. Apologies for the cursing. But we come in white knighted. we show up, right? And we believe everything that's being told to us. And when we just simply, in the first episode, we were just like, yo, no problems with it, but I do want a conversation with everybody because we're not talking about me dating you. We're not talking about me taking you out to, the concert. We ain't talking about me grabbing drinks with you. We ain't talking about me getting behind you. We're talking about a life together, right? Yeah. When we're talking about that, no, sweetie, I'm sorry. I need to talk to all parties involved.
Yep.
And whoever this child's father is a party involved. Mm-hmm. Right?
Because it's almost like, with the mother of your child, if she was dating somebody, you would love for him to be like, yo, I need to talk to him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to talk to me. Yeah. Like you don't have an option. Like when I met, who she was dating, what I told her? Hey, bro, next time you in town, we gotta grab a beer. You and I gotta sit down. Yeah. And it did exactly what I knew it would do. Right? Because either you're gonna have to step up as a man and realize that you're gonna have to deal with another man on a consistent basis, or it's gonna run you off. Because you ain't built like that. Or she gonna run you off because she done been lying to him and then she don't want to be exposed. But whatever it is though, it's gonna set that in motion. And as men, we can't get emotional because our women are out dating somebody else, right? That's life.
Look,
that is life.
Hopefully make your life cheaper.
But everybody, exactly. But everybody gotta understand it's like, yo, Big Daddy don't go just because somebody else show up.
Look, man, hopefully it make your life cheaper. He start paying for some of her meals. He start buying some shit.
Man, take care of all of it. Like, like if you're not with somebody, and again, it goes back to this man shit. Y'all got to stop getting your feelings when you break up with a woman and she leaves and you get all of your feelings. Like, bro, when she's gone, she's gone. Mm-hmm. But if you have a child with her, yes, that child is yours. Stop trying to be in control of the women. Be in control of the life of your child. Get your butt in the court. Get these court orders when they don't do the court orders. Put them on contempt. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the jobs where you can have the time, right? Yeah, you can't be an over-the-road truck driver and see your kids, right? You can't work third shift and see your kids. So put yourself in situations. In 2 years, anybody can change their life around. 2 years. It's going to take you 2 years to get in court any fucking way with custody cases and things of that nature. Bro, you could get certifications. You can change whole careers, whole lives, and get things together. But y'all don't, because you're lazy, and it's easier to be a white knight or a simp than it is to actually do husbandry in the garden and take care of a woman.
Look, man. All right, debate time. Time to do preferences. Do you want a strong woman or a feminine woman, Mike? What do you want? What you want, Mike?
You know what? I'm gonna let the audience guess. I think everybody know.
Okay, you got to describe to me what do you call a strong woman? Like, what is that? What does that look like?
Oh man, so boy, we about to get murdered.
Yep, that's why I'm letting you answer.
So my grandmother,
oh gosh,
was a strong woman, right? But she was a strong woman because my grandma understood femininity, right? So like, to me, getting everything done is strength, right? So look. So how about this? Let's use a superhero example, right?
Okay.
All right. If there's two superheroes, all right, one can pick a car up with his bare hands. He can pick the car up and he can hold it over his head, right?
Okay.
The other superhero can use their mind and they can pick the car up and put it on top of the building. Right?
Okay.
Which one is the strongest one? Who's the strongest?
Well, physically, or we talking like,
if you say like which person would be stronger to you? The one that can lift the car and put it over their head,
Not the one
or the
on the
one that can
building.
lift the car and put it on the building?
The building.
All right. So one person is using their mind, the other person is using physical strength.
Yeah.
All right. So when I see a woman that could get things done and she barely has to move, she barely has to speak, she barely has to, touch, control, say anything, to me, she is in her feminine divine.
Okay.
That woman, to me, is stronger than a woman that has to ride a man down or nag a man to get something done.
Facts.
So when you say strong, we're using it in the sense of the internet, right? Like strong, independent woman, right? We stereotypically see these women as being loud, right?
Stereotypically, yes, they're loud.
So we're not thinking of a feminine woman as a strong woman. And most of the time, right? Because we think of the feminine woman
based off the internet, yes, correct.
of being the quiet one.
You're not gonna cuss me out.
Yeah. So to answer that question myself, give me a feminine woman. But I do not negate women's strength. And anybody like that, if you listen to this podcast, I tell y'all all the time, women are not weak. You're not more powerful than women because you have a dick between your legs. That is not where your strength resides. As a man, your strength resides in your masculinity. And if you don't understand that masculinity is caring, grace, mercy, then you're always going to miss the mark.
Facts.
Right? And it's the same thing when it comes to the feminine divine. If you don't understand that that's the adoration, the respect, and the celebration, then you're just going to always miss the mark.
For me, excuse me, I want a feminine woman. Sorry. No offense. But I do want to say, sometimes when we hear, when I hear the term strong woman, I think of either an alpha female or an A-type female. And I think the internet has deemed those women as not feminine, and I don't think that's fair. Also, I don't believe in alpha female, sorry. And I'm just keep that a buck with you, because every time I ask an alpha female, like, what makes them an alpha, they just name out adult shit.
Well,
that's it.
That's the thing. It's like, I hate the whole, gosh, I don't even think that was me and you talking. I think it was me and another one of my homeboys. When I was like, I hate the whole alpha beta conversation now. I say because these terms are so overused that they're just misapplied.
They are misapplied
all the time now. Like, look, if you're a woman and you handle your business and you're
an adult.
You're doing everything. Congrats, right?
Congrats.
You're an adult. Now, if you're taking care of a man, right, I guess you could say, all right, I'm an alpha, right? But if he was taking care of you, would you then be a beta? Probably not, right?
No.
You're probably not a beta. So these tags are just they're just misappropriated all the time.
Absolutely. So when I hear alpha, like, I'm like, oh, what makes you a female? Well, I got a good job. You know, I'm a leader, all this shit. And that sounds great. And it sounds beautiful. It sounds like you're an adult. And I respect that for you acting your age. And so when I hear the term beta males, me and you have had this conversation plenty of times. I don't label that man as weak.
No.
I don't label him as incompetent.
I think our favorite black man, I'm not going to call him names because I do not feel like arguing with y'all in the comment section, but he's a beta male.
Who?
I'm not going to say it because I'm not arguing with y'all in the comment section. But our favorite black male, 2 of them, actually, now that I'm thinking, are
you
both
think Obama's a better man?
I'm not doing it.
Look, man.
We will talk off camera, not arguing in the comment section.
Maybe so, and nothing. And look, I think, I think when the biggest argument that me and you agree upon that I think women have is we think that when we laugh when we hear alpha female say, I want an alpha male.
Yeah. Because that ain't gonna work.
That's never going to work. They don't want you.
Yeah.
And you don't really want them.
No. 2 people cannot have their hand on the steering wheel.
Exactly.
One person got to drive. One person got to navigate, right?
So when I think of the internet.
We don't even let navigators control the radio anymore.
Absolutely.
The driver controls the radio
Absolutely.
now.
If I'm driving, I'm DJing too.
I'm DJing too.
And so, yeah, we took that shit away. And so when I look at the internet's label of a strong woman, I look at it as though like overbearing, because that's what they tell us, right?
True.
And it's kind of like, and I don't like A-type women, dating A-type women, because you just pressing. You pressed to me.
Well, I need you to be flexible in whatever in life, right?
Yeah.
Because as a man, I'm flexible. Now, a lot of people go to disagree that knows right now. They're going to tell you that Mike is not flexible at all. I'm actually really flexible. You just present me with the evidence, right? You can't tell me this is how you feel.
Yeah.
Because from my point of view, I've already thought all of this through.
Yeah.
Right? So I've looked at contingencies. I've looked at how it can go right, how it can go wrong. So when you just say, I feel, it's like, well, I've already thought about that, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you bring me something that's not considered, I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
Right? Now we can start making changes. Now
Facts.
we can start making, different things. So it's like, it's not even the ideal of, that you can't have an opinion. It's like, well, can you have an opinion where you can bring new information to light, right? So, look, I could date a type A woman, but if you think type A is just inflexibility, that ain't no. Right? There's a misunderstanding of what you're trying to do.
And then, the other thing is, I'm type A myself.
Yeah,
like, I'm OD, and I be pressed on certain things. But you know what? I get along with type A women great.
Not get in a relationship with them.
That, and sometimes as clients, they not my favorite clients, but that's a whole nother subject.
Yes.
But nothing ain't wrong with that. And I think it's coming to knowing that. And when I look at a feminine woman, I don't look at them as weak women either.
No.
And I ain't finna get into what's a feminine woman, because y'all ain't finna light my ass up.
They gonna
light Mike up only. Please. I'm not, but I prefer a feminine woman. And back in the day, it used to be non-feminine and a feminine woman, and then you realize like, oh, okay, then all the tomboys decided that, we want to be feminine, and it was cool as shit.
And it was nothing, when we was younger, it was nothing like watching a tomboy to feminine transformation.
Yeah, that shit was fine.
Yeah, that was
like,
fire.
Damn. You was like, all right.
Yeah, that was fire, man. So it's like, nah, but if we're being clear though, right? When the opposite happens, using that analogy, which is terrible, but if we're going to use it.
Now that we're here.
Yeah, now that we're here, right? When you see a woman go from tomboy, right, which is more of the masculine, to feminine, even though we're talking about clothing here and we're talking about aesthetics.
Yeah.
Like that's always fire, right? But when you watch the opposite, no one kind of says, well, that is fire. Even though I like a woman that can do both. Like, I give me a camo short Chucks tank top girl, right? But then on Saturday nights when we go out, she could throw on the heels and the dress. Like, yo, give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that range for sure.
Absolutely.
But going back to the ideal of the internet version of, quote unquote strong woman, and then the internet version of a feminine woman. Shit, hell, let's pick me. Give me the pick me all fucking day.
Oh,
why would I not want to be happy?
I hate pick me bitches, bro.
I don't.
I hate them.
Why would I
text your brother this weekend. I saw some pick me shit of somebody we know. I said, yo.
Oh, yeah. What did they do?
No, somebody we went to church with.
Okay, yeah, they might listen to the pod, so we don't need to say it. All right, never mind. That's all I got, bro.
Hold on. The podcast is officially canceled. Look, man, I want to thank y'all for listening. Tune in. Please do us a favor. Go on Facebook. Look up the podcast. Look up. Is it Black Dad's Safe Space? What is the podcast group?
Black Dad's Club Space.
There we go. Look it up because we be giving it up in there, which is amazing. It's fun. And we be posting shit that we see on the internet, and it's great. And you know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep saying this. Black men need somewhere to talk. Black dads definitely need somewhere to talk because all of us is going through something. All of us is dealing with the same stuff, and it's amazing when one of us can look at the other brother and say, yo, this is what I went through. This is what I can help you with.
Yeah.
And, hey, can you help me with this? I think that's super amazing. That's why I really, really love this pod, and I think it's fun. You know
it is fun, man. And you know, I know people probably look at the title, then they come in and they be like, "Oh, I thought this was gonna be parenting," and it is nothing but like shenanigans for an hour. It's like, but that's like you have to have that space, man. Like we don't have spaces where black men can sit where we could talk about shenanigans, but then we could talk about the important thing, right? Like we have pods where we could be a fool of ourselves for an hour. We have pods that we can get drunk. We have pods where we can talk about, you know, women, but we don't really have pods where we could just kind of like, all right, what does it mean to be a black man, right? Like I can have all dynamics. I could be highly intelligent and still like ratchet shit.
Yeah.
You know, like I could do both. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do as much as I can as a black man and then still fail and realize that's human, right?
Yeah, facts.
Like it's nothing more important than seeing other people. Like I would never forget. I would never, ever forget. When I finished my divorce and I started talking to couples that had been married, right? Because everyone was just like, you know, most people think when you get divorced, you like bitter and hurt and you never want to get married again. I'm just like, nah, man. I was like, you know, I could kind of see every place that I messed up. And it doesn't mean that like I was the only one messing up. It's just like, yo, but I see everything that I was accountable for. And every mistake that I made, it's like, yo, if I clean these things up, I could do this. And like when I would tell married couples, like, you know, like my mistakes and the things that I do, they just started telling me the things that they've dealt with in their marriage. And, you know, and I think I used to tell like my friends, like the first 2 years after my divorce, I was like, I'm so fucking annoyed at married people. And they was like, why? I was like, because they be dealing with the same thing that you be dealing with. Like, there's so many couples that are divorced, brother. I'm like, I assure you, if you're listening to this pod right now, you think of the most ridiculous thing that your wife have done to you, or think of the most ridiculous thing that you've done as a husband. I mean, I'm talking about literally the stupidest thing, like the thing that broke y'all up.
Yeah.
Bruh, there are couples that have been married 15 years and that shit happened twice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is not, you're not out here on an island, bro. Like, everybody is dealing with the exact same. Now, let's be clear. Some shit I ain't dealing with. All right? Yeah. Like, let's be clear. But having that perspective of understanding that, like, yo, it ain't just you. You don't have to live in that guilt. You don't have to live in that shame. Only thing you have to do is just decide to be a better person. That's it, bro. You make a mistake, it's just a mistake. Fuck it, move on. If she makes a mistake, it's just a mistake. Fuck it, move on. Way more men deal with their wives' mistake than a lot of people are being honest about. So it's like, yo, like, don't live in that shit. Don't mire yourself in it. Don't think it's like, yo, it's just me. Yeah. Bruh, no, it's literally every fucking body. Absolutely. Right? And they're dealing with it and they're getting through it, which means that you can deal with it and you can get through it. Now, I am not telling you to endure abuse. I am not telling you to endure abuse. But what I am telling you is, like, however the fuck you feel, it's probably mostly just your feelings. Get your ass in therapy.
Amen. And with that, we're going to holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.